Hello. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. I know a lot of you actually wake up at 4 a.m. So thumbs up for that. So here we have the GoCharlie founder, Brennan. Then we have myself, Rabin, and Joe. Everyone knows Joe. And Pam and the Creed B. So hello from every one of us.
Hi, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Joe, you want to take a bit? What we are going to talk about today is basically go through some of the features, and please go ahead.
We're talking about, I believe, bacon mode. 10 ways to cook bacon on GoCharlie. Yeah, and whatever else Brennan wants to talk about, and maybe 49er football. Little.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So, Joe, you have the access to Charlie dashboard, or
is Brennan going to do it?
Yeah, I'm happy to take you guys through it.
Yeah.
But I'll try to stick to my Midwestern manners. So I'm Brennan Woodruff.
So for some reason on my screen I cannot see Brennan.
What?
Oh. Technical difficulties.
I can see you.
Him on my phone.
No.
I can see you. It's all good. It's probably Pam. It's probably the internet over there by you.
Yeah.
I turned off the whole computer.
It's you.
So I'm going to give the stage to Brennan for his speech. So give us a moment for that. Yeah, go ahead, Brennan.
Awesome. So I met a bunch of you guys through our Facebook community. It's been amazing seeing the outpouring of support, but I'll mind my manners and just introduce myself. So I'm Brennan Woodruff, co-founder of GoCharlie.ai. I introduced myself in the Facebook community, but I'm originally from a small town in Indiana called Evansville. Lived in Chicago, New York, and now San Francisco. Prior to GoCharlie, I was working at SoftBank for their vision funds. I deployed about $50 billion worth of capital and tech investments over the course of my 2 years there. Prior to that, I was part of Uber's IPO team and their product launch team from a finance perspective. So we launched self-driving vehicles. Uber is a platform, so think scooters on the Uber app, bikes, scooters, rides, anything that you can think of, pretty much other than Eats was under me. And then prior to that, I did cross-border mergers and acquisitions at KPMG. Now, you may be thinking, why would you leave jobs like that? I ask myself that sometimes as well, but I think I'm a glutton for punishment. Joe probably would concede that. But also because I wanted to jump into a role where I could make products that have the ability to impact people's lives in a very positive and meaningful way. And so I see what we're building at GoCharlie.ai as a way to enable people to make a business around themselves or a business around one of their dreams and their passions. People ask, why choose marketing? For me, marketing is a problem that every business has. And if there's a way to create a tool that can positively impact your business or allow you to pursue your dreams, then that's why I want to build what we're building here. So that's a very long monologue, not enough dad jokes, but I thought that I would take you through some of the cool features that we have on the platform. And then I'd love to answer any and all of your guys' questions as they come about. So with that, Amazing. So with that, am I able to share my screen, Mr. Host?
Yes, of course.
Fantastic. All right, so I will share my screen. Amazing. Am I able to share my screen, Mr. Host?
Yes, of course.
Fantastic. All right, so I will share my screen.
I think someone's mic is on. Got a feedback from Pam.
Yeah, I muted Pam for a bit.
Pam. All right, so can you all see the dashboard?
Yes, let me put it on screen. Yes.
Fantastic. So I like to play in dark mode, but we also have light mode. Personally, I prefer dark mode. This is a little overwhelming for me. But this is the GoCharlie dashboard. So I'll take you on a real quick run through of the platform, but just to get us started, you see a lot of these features here on the left. So the first category is images, generating images or using images to generate text. The way you will see our platform evolving is bringing different modalities of content together in a super meaningful way. So that might mean starting at a different point than what you're used to, but we think it's a really cool way to solve the content creation problem being time consuming and a blank canvas problem. Now, ads through website here, these are all text-based copy features. So think anything text-based is going to be in these categories. Obviously, the one that we see used the most is the one-click blog and the blog wizard, which we'll kick into a little bit later. Then the last two buckets here are super interesting. So the first is rewrite. We just launched a 2,500 character rewrite functionality that's live in the platform now. Go check it out. It's our version of moving towards the ability to fully rewrite a blog in its entirety in a new voice. And then the content scoring piece. Right now, content scoring functions effectively as a Grammarly for structuring your content to optimally engage your audience. But what this will evolve into in the long run is the ability to assess the quality against your brand playbook, your brand requirements, your target audience, your goals of your content. Maybe it's brand awareness versus website traffic. So in the long run, this content scoring becomes a post-processing layer for any content you create to ensure that it's adhering to your goals as well as your brand playbook and who you're trying to target. But where we're going to start today is content repurposing, which I know my boy Joe loves. And I even have a surprise for you. So today, what you can do with content repurposing is take a YouTube URL, a target audience, and your intent, and you can make a blog outline with it. Now, one of the things that you guys, I love it.
Yeah.
No worries.
That's not me, by the way. That's
I've
Rabin.
decided, since Joe and I both love bacon mode, to take a history of bacon YouTube video and put this into the YouTube URL. Then the audience is bacon lovers, and the intent, let's put entertain, because we like to have some fun with AI here. And so I press fetch, and what Charlie does is he goes to the video, he sees what's going on in it, and then he summarizes it down into its key points. Now, this video is a little bit shorter, so this is going to be a much shorter process. But let's say, for instance, that you're a podcaster and you put your YouTube video or your podcast on YouTube. You're going to want to be able to take what's on those YouTube videos and turn them into a blog post, because you want to repackage your content in as many different ways as possible to be efficient with that process. Now, here we took the history of bacon and we turned it into a blog outline. Now, I think this is pretty funny, but let's try it on something that's a little bit more technically dense. So this is a video that's from Y Combinator's Startup School, and it's Understanding Equity with George Gonin. So we've been fundraising in the background of all of this mania that we've had around the product, but we are also learning quite a bit from Y Combinator's live courses that they have online. So we'll put our audience as startup founders. This is our YouTube URL. We'll press fetch. So what Charlie is doing here again is he's assessing what is going on in the video and then turning that into a blog outline. Now, it looks like the UI is timed out, but don't worry, it's coming back in just a second. But the way that we think about this is just a massive time saver for any of this. In the future, what we're going to do is have a transcript ability. We're nearly there on it, but we're putting the final tweaks where you could upload any type of audio or video, and it would create a transcript. And then from that transcript, create a blog outline similar to what you see here. And then you can go straight into the blog wizard, as we were showing a little bit earlier. Kicks you into the blog title, target audience. You can make edits to your blog outline here, your blog talking points, and then one more click and boom, you're straight into the blog writing process. Now, content repurposing is a really cool, unique functionality in my mind, because there's really nothing that brings all of these capabilities here on the left together. So what we want to do is introduce a way for you to start either with an idea or any other content library piece that you have and turn it into anything else on our platform. Maybe that means going from a YouTube video to a series of social media posts over 3 months. Maybe that's an image and you want that to inspire a fictional story that you want to write. Maybe that is an audio clip that you have and you want to turn that into a series of blogs. Personally, I actually ran the song Stacy's Mom through the blog or content repurposing. And let me tell you, that was a very interesting blog. Now, here's the finished product for that Y Combinator video that we put through here. Talks a little bit about the equity compensation, the risks and rewards of equity in a company, pros and cons of stock options. That's a very real problem that we have at startups, how to calculate equity, and then tax implications, and then final thoughts. So this looks to be roughly a 1,700 word blog based off of just this video and no alterations from us. Perfectly formatted. But let me show you something that's coming down the pipe real soon. This is a little preview that no one else has quite seen yet. But content repurposing, let's do the same trick here and go straight into a blog. So we'll click it, fetch. Charlie will go away and summarize it. While we're playing with that, I'll go back to the core thing here. So Joe, I need a suggestion from the audience. What am I creating an image of?
What does everybody want to see? If you ask me, it's going to be bacon. Anybody in the audience have an idea?
No, Transformers is eating some bacon.
Okay.
That'll be fun.
Let's see how that plays out. So there's a couple things going on here. One, you can do widescreen and vertical. Vertical is very important nowadays for social media posting. Two, you can do HD, 2K, and 4K. We were the first to do 4K. That's how we were #1 on Product Hunt. And then you can do art or photo. Now, what you may have noticed when I started typing here was that there's this there's this really cool way where the very first thing that you can create, very first thing, you could just see what Charlie's capabilities are there. But what's actually happening in the background of this is when I press fetch, it takes what you put in as an input and uses an AI model to convert that into a very rich prompt that then goes and talks to the image model. So instead of you having to figure out how to prompt engineer, we're giving you a way to use AI to make a better prompt without you having to do anything. We don't see everybody learning how to prompt engineer. We see everybody coming and talking to AI models, just like it's talking between Joe and I. And this is our first foray into that, where we're trying to enhance the abilities of the model all at once so that you don't have to learn to prompt engineer. You can leave that to Charlie. Now, real quick before we go back to those images, because that's going to be fun. So we now, in the rich text editor, in the update that's coming, have the ability to rewrite up to 25 or 5,000 characters in a tone. So you can select 5,000 characters, change the tone. But then you also have write more. So I know a lot of you are super excited about write more. That's coming here shortly. Then we also have revamped the copy button so that formatting will stick when you're going to any sort of in publishing state. This is really a middle ground before we get the WordPress integration going. And then ultimately that export button. So being able to save it down as a document, which I know many of you requested. So the rich text editor, both for content repurposing as well as blogs, is about to get a serious upgrade in terms of its functionality. Now, if we go back to the photos, we have Transformers as bacon. Not quite eating bacon, but man,
it works.
So
it works.
Yes, exactly. So let's download this image though. So let's say that I created an image, but I'm not a copywriter. That's why I built a tool that is a copywriter. So now I go into my image to text module and I say, hey, I created this awesome picture of a transformer made of bacon, but I want to maybe create some content about it. Let's keep it with English. We'll keep the brand name, keep the keywords empty. And so Charlie is actually able to define what's in the picture, which a bacon transformer is pretty hilarious. I'm excited to see what happens here. Yeah, wow. So he recognized that it was a robot made of bacon, and he then created content based off of that recognition. So this is a really cool way for you to come to the table with a visual. We've seen wedding photographers do quite a bit of this. We've seen e-commerce users do a lot of this, where they'll bring their product images to the table and they'll use Charlie to write the content for them. Now, that's pretty much it for the platform. A couple smaller things. These cards are incredibly powerful, so don't let the looks deceive you. But within the context of the card, you can rewrite your copy. you can get a new image, you can download your image, but you can also go into the analyze mode. And so analyze mode is the content scoring piece that we talked about a little bit earlier here. So it ports the text content straight into content scoring. You click analyze, and it gives you a content score. Now, this is all based off of 100 million plus social media posts with engagement data that we distilled down into insights of how do you structure your content to make sure that it is engaging your audience. So it boils down into a score, but you get 6 categories that gamify your content writing experience. This one is definitely a little too long in terms of character count, but the appropriate amount of commonality for language. But it forgot a call to action. So that's a huge no-no in marketing. It is in the level of readability. So you want to make sure that it's fit the 6th grade reading level, which is sad, but also optimal. And then sentiment, you want to make sure it's not too positive, not too negative. And subjectivity, you want to make sure that it's right around the middle between subjective and objective. So this is one of the ways that we're trying to evolve the platform to not only be just this way to create a ton of content in a very quick manner, but also a way to understand why certain content performed better than others. So that's pretty much it for the walkthrough. Would love to answer any questions you guys have, but yeah, I'm glad we.
I have one on the Brennan, before I forget, on the content scoring. On great walkthrough, by the way. Will there be more characters in the future? Because I love the content scoring part of your platform, and I find myself using it often. But I want to try to get over 500 characters, like maybe 1,000 or more. Is that on the roadmap?
Yeah, definitely. So some of you know this is where we started. We actually started as only doing Facebook ad copy in our very earliest days when Charlie was a puppy. So that was the MVP we launched back in May. We didn't really know what we were doing back then. And that's why content scoring is a little bit more tailored to short form copy. Now, I alluded to it a little bit in the product walkthrough, but where we see content scoring going is one, a quality score. So making sure that those same components are evaluated across longer form pieces of content, but then adding that goal layer. So like, is brand awareness your goal or website traffic your goal? How does that come into the content? And then as you can imagine, the moment that we have a brand voice layer, you can also use it to assess, is this content in line with my brand voice? And then where I would like this to eventually evolve is it perfectly scores across all those. But in the middle ground, you being able to click a button where it says, hey, you didn't score well here, and it just rewrites it to score better. So I see content scoring evolving quite a bit. We just laid the very bare bones foundation so far.
Okay, I've got 3 quick questions. With the image creator, is there a possibility of it creating thumbnails which are optimized? So taking text and then not only creating the image, but with like some keywords on it that could draw people's attention. And then, are you aware of Content Fries, that software, where it takes the content and then it creates quotes? Is that a possibility in the future where it would generate, based on the blog, these are the top 5 quotes, which we could then repurpose in social media with like the image and things like that? And then social media posts, are there plans for things like Pinterest and Instagram posts in the future? So 3 questions.
Definitely. So
guys, I forgot to introduce Lyle. So he also does a lot of TikTok and Reels, and those are very useful things. I always watch his Reels, and it's kind of inspiring to look at it. It's short and
I've
to
got
the
a
subject.
Charlie Reel coming soon. So
Yeah, hey Lyle, welcome.
There we go. I was about to say, Lyle, we need to talk after this. I got some TikTok thoughts for you.
you should.
Yeah. So 3 questions. Let me make sure that I remember them correctly. So the first one was, or I guess the last one, let's start from the end. So one was social media. Do we plan to expand the types of things that can be created in that? Yes. So Kostas actually today finished prototyping many of the social media posts beyond just ad content. So thinking like Twitter posts, Instagram posts, Instagram captions, all those sorts of things. So anything that you have in that sphere that you're creating quite a bit, send those to us. We already have some prototypes of what we're going to do, and then we'll expand. Two is Content Fries. So I used their platform. It was a while back. I do love the idea of quote extraction. Where I kind of saw content repurposing going for us was similar to that, where you go from a video, the blog outline is effectively distilling the main points. And then you could create a social media campaign where each post would be those like highlight points. So yes, I think we're already headed in that direction, but I kind of want to learn more about this content fries feature. And then help me out with the third one. The third one
was the thumbnail creation, where it pulls in not only the image, but also like a content or a quote on it, which is going to draw people's attention. So just like popping words and things like that.
Yeah. So I'll get a little technical first, and then I'll zoom back out. So most of the AI models that are out there are really bad at rendering text because they were all trained on rendering visuals. So there's kind of two ways you could theoretically do this. One would be that you have two separate models, and so you have a text visual model where you're generating the text that would be used for the copy, and you're laying that over whatever the visual is. Now, if you think about that logically, it's probably not going to look very good if you're layering two models unless they know how to talk to one another. So I don't think we're going to go that direction. The second way is you can fine tune a model on a bunch of different visuals with text in it. So that is super intriguing. That's something we're toying with. It's a matter of like, what are the types of visuals that you want to create? Like, I know the stuff that I create in Canva is very basic, but it's definitely on my radar in terms of something I want to do. If we're successful at doing what I plan to do, I want to be the AI version of Canva. But instead of using your mouse, you're talking back and forth with an AI via text, or me just like I'm talking to you in a way where I can be like, hey, change the hairstyle, change the logo on the laptop, change this, change that. And the AI is just being your partner and iterating at a rapid velocity. So yeah, I recognize that issue. That was my very first issue with AI models. Despina and Kostas probably didn't like me so much at the first part, because I was like, why can I not do this? And then I realized the technical complexity of it, and it's not as easy as you would think.
So we have some questions. So I will go through the questions on the screen. So it will be helpful for Brennan to answer as well. So the first one from Noor, how do you plan to combat Google's fight against AI content? What step will you make to stand out from the rest of the competition?
Yeah, so I think we're already kind of doing it. So let me be clear that we developed our blog writing tool in the lens of Google's algorithmic updates recently that were focused on being helpful, unique, insightful content. Kostas developed that way, and I think that was largely why we avoided an SEO type partnership to begin with. I'm not saying that we won't go there, because I do realize the importance of it to many of our users. But we didn't want to create a blog tool that felt spammy, that felt like an SEO hacking vibe. Like, that definitely has value, but we tried to develop it in the lens. Now, I don't think anybody knows exactly where the Google algo is going to go. And to be honest, I'm friends with many of the Google engineers that build these algos, and even they don't know how the algorithms work anymore. So I don't think that Google is ever going to be able to fully downrank. And to be honest, they're developing their own AI models. So in terms of how we plan to stand out, it's a continued focus on creating unique, insightful, and helpful content, because we feel in the long run, the AI models will emphasize that in an avoidance of polluting the internet.
Yeah, I've been seeing, like, for the last couple of years that Google keeps like the boy that cried wolf with, we're going to get your AI, we're going to get your AI, you know, and I haven't actually been nervous until the last month, you know, because I've seen from my day to day, you know, building up networks and articles on backlinks using AI, there's a drop off across the board with some AI, you know, they're starting to, I mean, get a little bit of the, I'd say like the stuffing, keyword stuffing, GPT-3 models. So I guess I'm hoping that you guys will stay ahead, just like all the other AI companies out there, which everyone is ahead of Google. And like you said, Google does have their own AI they're trying to push out. But it is a concern, because one day all those articles that we produce, you know, over the last 2 years, they might vanish like that. And that could really, SEOs, we're going to lose our minds. So, you know, I guess it's something, you get this question a lot, you know, people concerned.
Totally. And to be honest, like, I'll tell everybody on the call, we have 2 AI PhDs on the team. To be honest, that's one of the reasons we're pursuing building our own large language model. If everybody's using GPT-3, it's a lot easier for Google to kind of nail or hammer the nail that everybody's using than something that's custom and developed in the context of their algorithm. Now, I'll be perfectly honest, we're not there yet, but we're nearly there. We just decided to prioritize launching new features using our own layers on top of GPT-3 until such time that it would make sense to transition. But in the long run, that is a supporting factor for having our own large language models that can adapt to those algorithms, because you can't really change GPT-3 all that much, even with fine tuning.
Yeah. And you guys have a lot of features as an all-in-one. So, you know, possibly might slow you down on just focusing on one, like the one-click blog that many people have said, oh, there's some repetitiveness to some of, which I played around with. And I've noticed if you go out of inform mode to the other modes, you won't get as much repetitiveness. But again, and Brennan, as you've said in your group and in our group, that you should use the AI as a base. And if you know how to edit it, I like it because I'll see the repetitive words and I'll hit them and I'll just change the wording. So it's a good foundation. I personally believe no one should just be putting out AI content without fact checking it, you know, editing slightly, removing some of the stuffs, you know, and I think that Charlie does a good job of taking the title, taking the keywords that you put in and kind of giving you a good base, you know, so far. But I would love the one click to improve. But I know that you guys have a lot of fishing poles in the water. You're doing everything. You know, you're almost a complete all-in-one. So I think if you were a one-click blog, you know, post, you'd probably already be there with that part, you know, but you're trying to get everything covered.
Totally. And I think you bring up an interesting point, and it probably benefits the folks on the call here as well, is, you know, we started doing just one thing, and that was generate Facebook ads, enhance, then analyze, and then customer review responses. That's how our platform started. We called it the GEAR acronym. That's why you see the gears whenever the page loads. It's a credence to our old name. But then we realized that the market wanted more. And so we were like, cool, we'll just launch a whole bunch of shit. We have like four times the amount of stuff you guys see publicly ready to go. It's just a matter of overwhelming people. So there's going to be a lot more coming. But the question then becomes, like, we monitor usage of the platform. And so if there's 5 to 6 things driving the majority of usage, that's where we're going to go deep. But at the same time, there's tons of progress happening in the AI world. And so it would be a disservice to you guys if we're not using our technical capabilities to fold those into the platform in a way that makes really good product, intuitive way to use all these new technologies to still solve that content creation problem. And that's why we did do content repurposing. That's a huge time save in my mind. And you'll continue to see us kind of play around, because we see the AI technology as like a time saver, but also an optimizer. And so that's eventually how we want people to view us, is you're coming to the platform with ideas, with content, and we're effectively functioning as a time saver in creating content or an optimization layer before you go and publish. Yeah. Cool.
So we come out on the questions. Some of the questions I have collected, so I'm going to show it on the screen.
This is a really important question. I'm obsessed with bacon mode. I want more bacon mode.
Yeah. So we actually got a request for vegetarian mode today. So you might also have to add that. Difference between bacon mode and normal mode. So the difference is kind of boring. It's mostly just like you'll see that there's bacon and sausages instead of the normal icons for your tools. And as you click around the platform, they move because they're supposed to be sizzling on a pot. But rumor has it, if you put Kevin Bacon as an SEO keyword, the whole thing blows up. Don't do that. Don't put Kevin Bacon as your
I'm
SEO.
so doing that right now.
Nice.
Yeah. Is it like 7 layers of bacon, or what was that movie?
six degrees of Kevin Bacon. Yeah. It's kind of hilarious though. I was just playing around with the CTO, and he's like, yeah, so I just put bacon mode in, and I was like, what? Like, why do we need that? He's like, yeah, we need to have some fun with the platform. So bacon mode is here to stay. I'm very much a fan of it. I would love to do veggie mode as well for our vegetarian friends. But really, no difference.
I wonder if the veggie mode will turn the interface into dark green. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm definitely down with that.
Brennan, I gotta say, my cholesterol has risen since I've used the GoCharlie platform in bacon mode. My doctor is actually telling me to slow down, but I don't know what I can do.
I got an illness, and the only prescription is more bacon mode.
I need more cowbell.
Yeah, exactly. Someone got the reference.
And more cowbell.
Yeah, cool. Let's keep going.
Yeah, he's asking, does it copy the video's words? I think it does, right?
Yes,
Some
it does.
of it does.
Now, the private YouTube videos, there's a little bit of a different regulation around that, so it doesn't. And that's why we're standing up our own audio model that can ingest audio and video outside of just the public YouTube. So in the future, anything will be able to be transcribed and turned to that blog outline.
Okay, so Stephen, I think he's looking for a UI revamp. I think it's in the pipeline anyway, right?
Yeah, it is. We've been playing around with colors. Right now, we're focused on pushing product. We have a 4-person team. There's one CTO. He's a monster. He's literally pushed out so much stuff recently over the past couple months. But yes, it's on the radar. We're actually talking to some designers right now. Trust me when I say I'm the first person that was like, we need an updated UI. But I completely agree, Stephen. I'd love to have a revamped version.
Okay, I don't know why.
I think that's probably for the AI image. That's for the image suggestion. Yeah.
Yes. I didn't have a choice. I had to put it up on the screen.
I meant to say earlier, I don't know how much you guys know about training AI models, but if something is mentioned a ton in your training data set, it biases the model to put that out there. So I am personally trying to make fun of my CTO because we have like a brother situation. And so I keep writing blogs about Ryan sucking at coding so that the AI model is biased that he sucks at coding. So if there's anything you want it to be biased towards, maybe bacon, maybe cookies, maybe veggies, keep writing stuff about it. It'll come through. Okay. Is it possible to grab AI images for blogs that are written as we go? Interesting. So almost like a write more, but create an image based upon a subsection of a blog. I like it. Our first actual one quick blog suggested an image, like an actual image would come into it. And then we got rid of that for speed purposes. And now it's just a text suggestion. I think we're going to be bringing that back here shortly since people were so about it. Mainly using it to write. What's the plan to improve the quality? Yeah, so there's a couple ways. One, continuing to refine blogs. The repetitiveness issue has definitely been there. We're releasing the write more feature. The rewrite feature is expanding to actually have a reduce or add fluff feature. You can also change from active to passive voice. You can still write all the fun tones that you had beforehand. So there's a number of different ways that we're enhancing the rewrite and write more features. But in addition to that, we're building training data sets to improve the quality and feed that back through Charlie. So short term, it's introducing better features that allow you to manipulate the writing better. Long term, it's better training data sets to train the models and then have better quality.
Excellent. That's awesome. Great news.
Yeah. Any plans of integrating GoCharlie with a tool that detects AI? Not opposed. Anytime that we introduce an integration, it usually slows down the performance of the website. So I think early days, we'd probably partner with someone. We're actually looking to build a tools marketplace within our website of complementary products where, we may fall short on scheduling and posting directly to social media sites, but other tools have figured that out in a really compelling way. I think we're going to seek to partner either via an integration, but first it would just be directing people towards those platforms. So if you have a good one that you guys like, put it in the Facebook group. I would love to go talk to those folks.
Cool. Let me put the next one. I'm not sure who is this because he didn't give permission. So I couldn't see his
for SEO optimize. Not sure I understand the question.
So I think he's coming from the point where you can see from Neuron Writer or they pull the NLP terms related with the subject the blog subject.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I see it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely something we can look into. I think we talked about this as a team back in February at the very beginning, before anything was built, where we'd start with content creation and then we'd expand out from a workflow perspective. So the beginnings is ideation, trending is where we kind of plan on focusing there. And then the ending is publishing. So that would be direct posting, but then there's also that review part of the process. So that's content scoring. So yes, we do plan to expand there. It's just right now we're focusing on really great content creation and new ways to do so. What about
I think
service?
Alberto is asking from the point of view that he wants to create service pages for his website. So whether it is possible or not.
Yeah,
The
so
content,
effectively creating copy for a services page. Yeah, that's super easy. Drop in the Facebook community the types of copy that you would need for those websites, and we're happy to spin something out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is pretty long. It's not possible to show the entire question, but let me read it out. I know there's a lot of people hyping about GoCharlie, etc. However, with that, there is a lot of people post suggestion in the Facebook group. Some are good and some not so. Does GoCharlie have a public roadmap for your users to see what's next? What are the ideas and being able to vote on? So the features that majority of users, he's asking for a roadmap, whether it is prioritized or not.
Yeah, so great question, Ralph. I think just the public facing stance right now is we're not going to put a public roadmap out there. That is a highly competitive industry. And I'm someone where I don't like to overpromise and underdeliver. I would rather overdeliver and underpromise. Know that I'm cracking the whip on the team in the background. Like I want to be 6 months ahead of where we're at in terms of product roadmap, but AI is not so easy. And then building AI into software engineering, also not so easy. There's a ton of tech debt. So each time you launch a new feature without clearing some of that tech debt, the platform gets more and more unstable. So there's some cleaning work that has to happen. So we're balancing like launch a bunch of features and then maybe take a week to clean up, and then launch a bunch of features and then take a week to clean up. That being said, generally how this works, going from the Facebook group and turning it into a roadmap. So what we do is we have a vision for the company, a vision for where we're going to go. And then we have an idea of what does the product roadmap look like to get there. And then as we're doing that, we're going out and surveying users. So if I'm asking like what tones you want or what you want rewrite wise, that's because we're actively thinking about that as a team, and we want you to be part of that discussion. Now, the way that we filter is we effectively take all these suggestions on the platform. We're like, okay, 6 people have said they want this. 20 people have said they want this. That's why languages got pulled forward. Is like so many people asked about languages. I was like, we need this now. We filter this through our vision for where we're going as a company. And then we ultimately decide feature by feature, is this something we're going to emphasize or not? Teams, for instance, is something that we were thinking about a lot. A lot of people mentioned they wanted it, but from a vision for what we see for the product, it didn't really make a whole lot of sense until we had Teams functionality. I'm focusing on getting more and more content creation features out there before I worry about the administration requirements of building a Teams functionality. That was something that was in line with our vision. We want anyone to become a creator. We're not trying to sell to a bunch of marketing agencies quite yet. So we filter it through our vision, and that's ultimately how we decide what's going to go up and what's going to go down.
So Nardika Singh asked this question. I have the same question for you, that whether it will be in the future, it will be possible to exactly extract the prompt from an existing image.
Yeah,
I think
so
it's not that easy.
Yeah, so effectively you would give us an image, we'd extract out what a good prompt would be to recreate it, and then you'd feed that prompt back into it. So image to alt text kind of does that already. It doesn't necessarily create a prompt that you feed into the AI model, but it gives you the base prompt. And if you guys remember from the walkthrough, we actually enhance the prompt in the background with an AI model before it goes to our image model. So image to alt text kind of gets you there. But if you want to see like what exactly the prompt is of an image, we can do that. But the question would become, do you want DALL-E? Do you want Stable Diffusion? Do you want Charlie? What type of prompt do you want? Because it differs based on each model. All right.
Stephen, yeah.
So how can you do to make Charlie stand out? What would be the selling points? Yeah, so I think we talked about it a little bit, but just to give you an idea. So where we're taking the company is going to be 3 buckets in terms of product development. One is multimodal will be emphasized throughout the platform. Jasper treats art and visuals as a completely separate product. They treat writing as a separate product. I think it's a disservice to content creation because I have never read something that doesn't have a great visual accompanying it in today's world. And as Lyle would tell you, TikTok of everything is happening. And so anything that doesn't have a visual doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So multimodal will be a very big focus for us. The second piece is going to be brand voice and goal driven. And so that means customizing the user experience to that individual user. So you come with your brand playbook, that will be built into the model. You come with your goals, that will be built into the content being created. And then the third piece of it, which brings it all together, is that we're going to make it as easy to edit with an AI as it is to talk between you and a friend. So you say, hey, I would like a Facebook ad made. Charlie will go make you a Facebook ad, but then you can come back and say, hey, I don't like the visual, or hey, this text doesn't really do what I think it should. Can you do this? And you can sit there and go back and forth with Charlie super quickly. So for us, those 3 things would completely make us unique in the market. We would be multimodal, we'd be customized to the user, we'd be goal-driven, and we'd be intuitive to instruct. You can tell I've been doing a lot of fundraising pitches this week, haven't you?
You're good. I need you to help me sell some of my art.
Ooh, my mom's a painter. I got some experience, man. You let me know.
I know. I need an agent. I need an agent, Brennan, on the West Coast. Why not?
There we go. Wait, when are we going to have FAQs within one quick blog? I'm expecting the same to be added in draft mode so that we can feed FAQs. So basically creating a one quick blog where it's FAQs about a product. Just talked to Kostas about this week. Like types of blogs is something top of mind for me. So there's like a listicle blog, which would be top 10 things to do in X or top 10 things to see in XYZ. That's one type. Another type would be this FAQs situation. Another type would just be your random influencer blog about a product or a topic. I think that one we've kind of nailed, but we're getting better. So if there's types of blogs that you guys normally create, filter those through me. I'll filter them to the team. Charlie is so tuned in that all we need is one example. We need one quality example of something and we can make it happen. So you guys just let me know what you want. Niche topic like electrical power system. So I can't say that he can do every topic, but he can do a lot. The hack that I've seen where if he's not performing too well on a niche topic would be just feed a lot more information into the SEO keywords to provide context. Over time, Charlie will learn more and more niche topics, but for now, I can't promise that he will for sure have any of the niches that you need, unless it's Ryan sucking at coding. I know he can do that.
So I think this one, I also have this question that whether in the future we should be able to either integrate like Copyscape or have your own model of checking plagiarism.
Yeah. So Copyscape, I'm actually reaching out to talk to them early next week. I would like to get the plagiarism checker in place. Now, that being said, we're taking a little bit of a unique approach to it. We have a plagiarism checker in place. I don't think it's all that great, to be honest. I haven't really been that impressed. But in the future, we have a project called Charlie the Researcher. And so what that is Charlie's going to be able to go out to the internet and bring in cited sources. So plagiarism is one thing. Citations is another thing, and references and fact checking is another thing. But my thought, and we'll test this theory, is that if you can build a references builder in AI, one, it would be the first to market, but two, it would solve the plagiarism issues.
I mean, Copyscape is so affordable. If you're not paying for Copyscape on the side, just don't even bother. Get out of the SEO game. It's one of those, too. But I would love if you guys had it on there, but I don't think it's as necessary as everybody. Every AI writer I've seen, every, one of these videos, you see the groups are like, we really want that, in the tool. And I'm like, you know what? Just use Copyscape. It's affordable. It's not that expensive. If it's in the tool, excellent. I'd rather have a summarizer, that you have a full, which you said that's coming, that for me would make it more of an all-in-one. But Copyscape, I'm comfortable with. Most people are that are putting content out there. Even if you do get one, we're probably gonna all be paranoid for about a few months. Is it gonna really work? Is it gonna really work?
Yep. I know the feeling.
Cool.
So-
So Faz, I love this question. I love it. I worked at probably the best data visualization company to ever forever exist, which was Uber. The data visualization team at Uber was something of legend. If you guys haven't looked at their movement stuff or any of their data visualization stuff that's open source now, it is incredible. I would literally sit there in the morning and watch a city wake up in terms of Uber rides being requested, and it was like a symphony. So I love data visualization. I don't want the stock photos on our dashboard. I want data visualization of all the words coming through the platform in a very stunning visual. But the answer is no, we don't have that on the roadmap at the moment. We will, though, because I like pretty shiny things.
We all do in this community, as you can tell. The
Yeah,
LTV
also
community
love
loves shiny objects. They'll ask you for every feature under the sun. Is Charlie going to come over to our house and talk to us?
Yeah.
What's going to happen? You know.
I was trying to send you guys Charlie's today, but everybody's like, we want laptop stickers. So maybe
No, I wanted bacon. I wanted bacon.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can make that happen. I got a guy.
I wouldn't mind either of it. But I would prefer the Charlie mascot, to be honest. It's too cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, send him to New York. Send him over.
Oh, I got all sorts of things coming your way, Joe. Don't worry.
Awesome.
Can we expect automatic outline with H3 and FAQs? Automatic outline should be built by Charlie. H3s are coming. I think Kostas mentioned that in the Facebook group. Scanning top 10 or top 20 competitors based on the keywords we feed. So that's a little bit more of an advanced feature, but it's definitely something there. I think me personally, I saw content repurposing being the first foray into bringing external links into the platform. And you're going to start to see us do more and more things where it's web extraction and turning that into useful data or useful colorways or keywords that you can use in your blog. So think pulling in a competitor's page, using those keywords and being able to use or turn it into anything on the platform. Let's see, maybe vegan mode. I didn't think bacon mode was going to be that big of a hit. And I'm glad that it was. This is amazing.
Oh, it's great. At first I was like, wait, what's going on here? You know?
Any plans to integrate with something like Writers In, which is keyword research tool? So Neuron Writers founder actually kind of attacked me in an email chain. So I don't think so. But I'm open to some research going
it's
down.
the weekend. We got weekend drama. We love that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's the drama right there. Although I don't think any other founder would want to fight me. I'm not a very nice fighter. But anywho, I'm open to these types of integrations, but we'd probably build it ourselves.
I'm not sure why I surfaced this, but anyway, I guess you have your own way of explaining this one.
Yeah, I think I know who asked this question. I would love to. Right now, it's supporting our chief puppy officer, who you can see on our landing page. Kostas also has a firstborn child. As we scale and we have a little bit more money that we reinvest, I would love to support rescue dogs because I think it's really unfortunate that they are not able to find homes. Personally, I have a life-size stuffed golden retriever that sits on my porch and keeps birds away. So I'd love to have an actual dog that's supported by a dog-focused program.
That's great.
How did you come up with the name Charlie? Okay, so it's actually this really complex acronym that has everything to do with AI. No, it's the name of our founder's dog. I tried to make this an acronym, like an AI-based acronym, and he's like, no, it's just my dog. Fun fact, the company Zanga was named after a dog. Our original name, actually, fun fact, pop quiz for everybody, was Gaudium.ai. Gaudium stands for joy in Latin, but try to spell Gaudium, and that's why we changed to Charlie. But the branding was really, really great.
I took Latin for 6 years in high school, and I don't remember any Latin because I got to find a priest. You got to find a priest in Italy living in a cave to speak Latin these days. Who speaks Latin? Why am I the only guy in Manhasset High School that took Latin?
It doesn't make any sense.
They said, oh, it'll help you SATs. My mom, it'll help you SATs.
I mean, if you want to become a doctor, I hear everything that they make up is all in Latin too.
Brennan, you know me well enough. I'm not becoming a doctor. I mean, I use crayons to write my notes to Rabin.
Is that the project roadmap in the background on the easel?
Yeah, this is actually my mind map for the rest of the next 5-year plan I have with my family. But then my daughters hijacked my mind map. I should have stuck with Ouija, but I went with the paper. Not good.
All right. Does it provide SEO score or show what the KD is for specific keywords are being searched for? It does not currently. I'm sensing there's a lot of desire to build out more SEO functionality. I will endeavor to work on that with the team.
I think people always coming from that perspective that they want to go to one tool and get their job done.
Yeah.
Basically,
exactly.
That is their goal.
And I'd like to be that one tool. So it's sounding like to be that we have to be SEO focused.
My only advice to you, Brennan, I mean, and Rabin will say the same thing, and many people in the community, is listen to the community, which you have been, which is why I am becoming a bigger fan of GoCharlie. Because if you've seen my early posts, I'm like, I don't know what this is about. What's going on here? It's another hype tool. We start discussing. You're very receptive. You listen to the community. It's amazing the support you give and the ideas that you take in, but don't listen to everything, because then you're going to be, like you said, pulled in every direction and not work on your core, work on what's happening and try to fix the things that you want to fix, and don't overpromise, because then everyone will be ticked off. You can't make everyone happy. So
totally. Image from stock sites possible. Yeah, it's possible. That we actually did that in our initial one-click blog. We were using stock images, and then we were like, why aren't we using our own image creation model? So very easy. We've already built the code and the integration for it. I think there was a request for like an image suggest feature based upon either a topic or a piece of content. That's coming. So yes.
Okay, the next one. Sorry, we have a lot of questions actually. So I'm going through one by one. Actually, this one is asking YouTube and converting the script, another script rather than a blog. So I can create video scripts, and great if you include AI voice, and then later automatic association to video from Pixel or other royalty-free videos. So basically can take video, rewrite, and launch. So
interesting. So I'm not sure I completely understand the question, Jonathan. You can maybe follow up with me afterwards. But my understanding is being able to pull a script or pull from the YouTube video and then create a new script and then use an AI voice to put a voice.
Mix with free stock videos.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess that is what he meant. Yeah.
That's super interesting, Jonathan. It's almost like before we could get the text to image, we just combine all the features together. Yeah, I would love an idea like that. If you're still on, DM me. I'd love to talk a little bit more about how that might work, because that would be super interesting to me.
Yeah. So the next one is
yes.
Custom tones. I think it is already the previous one. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Woof wood. I hope that was Henry. Did this lifetime? So this lifetime deal will go through the end of the month. So a lot of you have asked about Black Friday deals. Really the only Black Friday deal that's not already available, because we wanted to offer value for a longer period of time, is going to be a discount on the annual deal. It'll be a pretty significant percentage off of that, but I know you guys like lifetime deals. You guys are heathens for lifetime deals. So this is the current deal, and that will be the current deal. We might do something with AppSumo in the future, but that's all based upon what they're willing to give us. Plan on adding the ability to create custom templates? Yes, but I think before templates, I would rather have something that's instruction-led, where you could literally come and just ask Charlie to create anything that you want. I think templates are cool, but templates are also like a guessing game. Will people use this or will they not use this? So maybe that's where we would introduce some sort of upvoting or downvoting thing. But we've already got like 100 more use cases coming out for Charlie here soon.
So this is a very long text, so I'm going to summarize it. You were mentioned in the same article as Jasper, but you are maybe $1 billion behind. Is Charlie a bulldog fighter or a little pooch who is afraid of bigger dogs? You have got multimodal brand voice and conversational AI. Will that be enough? What will stop others from copying your unique developments? Tough question.
Take a deep breath before I answer this one. I wouldn't bet against me. I'm not that person. I'm not going to sit here and trash Jasper. I think that we have a really astounding team, but I have mad respect for the go-to-market engine that Jasper built, but I have every intention of destroying them. So, you can choose what dog you want to bet on, but I think their dog is actually a robot, and robots eat the shit out of, or get their shit eaten by dogs. So I don't know. I'm picking us in a scrappy fight, but look at what we've already built with 4 people in 2 months. Imagine what we can do with a year's worth of runway. So that's where I'll leave that one. But in terms of copying, that's why we have the AI PhDs. That's why we're building custom models. That's why we're building custom layers. You can't do that when you're using someone else's tech, like many of these other writing tools. And so all I would say is just watch and see what happens.
So this is like the prequel origin story of Terminator and Skynet. It's GoCharlie, Jasper, Rise of the Machines, and we all just got to pick the right side.
Yeah. I mean, if you ask Kostas' whole reason for doing this thing was he wanted to create an AI model that could redo Game of Thrones season 8 because he was so pissed off at how it did.
Well, it's just not season 8. Season 8 you could leave out. Season 8 we don't need. No, just throw that out. Throw that out. Kostas, yeah.
Any tutorial? So we talked about this a little bit. I will be creating more tutorials. Right now, I've been focused on answering your guys' questions. I have a whole host of tutorials I want to create. That being said, for correct image prompts for image creation, so we massage your prompts in the background. So try to just put as literal of a desire of what you want, and we will enhance that to make a better prompt. Now, you can also use autocomplete if you just want to see how people normally structure prompts. But to be honest, we want you to come with the most literal sense of what you want to see an image of, and we'll enhance it in the background. I think the next question, industry specific. It's an intriguing question. I think the question always becomes like, what's the industry you start on? So I would love to dive deeper on industry. Right now, we're diving deeper on product functionality and letting you guys give enough information for industry. Not opposed to it. Our initial model started with food and beverage, retail and e-commerce, and travel and hospitality. So those sectors tend to be a little bit better. But yeah, it just depends on what our users are most using.
I think this is already on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's coming. Kostas is nearly done.
So Pam has who has this question? What changed from AppSumo offering? Let me check.
Hold on. This is actually
Kristen. I think Kristen asked this question.
Hold on. Let me pull something up real quick just so you guys can see how different things are. This is going to be fun.
Creating engaging sessions.
Hold on just a second. Manage videos. Okay. I'm going to pull this up on a screen. Is that all right?
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, of course, there's an ad. Hi, guys. This was the platform back during the AppSumo days. You had generate, enhance, analyze, and respond. So you could generate Facebook ad copy. You could rewrite it. You could use content scoring, and you could respond to customer reviews. I also was about 20 pounds lighter back then because there wasn't bacon mode. So you're asking how different the platform is. This is the platform now, right? So this is like worlds more, and we didn't have content repurposing. We didn't have images. We didn't have rewrite. We didn't have a lot of these things available to you. We didn't even have dark mode or bacon mode. So massive change in terms of the platform. the reason that we're offering our own lifetime deal is because we were just trying to bootstrap the company through revenues until we fundraised from bigger VCs. We are considering going back to AppSumo, but again, it's if the deal makes sense. We have a certain way we view the deal. They have a certain way they want to offer. We'll just see how it goes. What can be promised about lifetime deals? Never kicks out, leave out features, etc. Yeah, so I think I answered this question in the group a couple times. Limited lifetime deals will just have limited versions of whatever new features come out, and unlimited lifetime deals will have unlimited versions. Now, I want to be very clear on the call that I don't like lying to people. There is very much a thought about a pro tier in the future. If and when a pro tier becomes available, my plan is to upgrade all lifetime deal purchasers to that. It's the first time I'm saying this externally. I have every intention of keeping to that word. If and when that does happen, you guys were our earliest bettors, so I want to make sure that you get in on that action. I don't like a lot of the stuff that I've seen in the past where founders will get the lifetime deal money and then they'll just like kind of scrap you guys. That's not, you guys were our earliest bettors. I don't want to deal with that. That's not me. Will $99 plan get future updates? Yes, just limited versions of them.
So that's I think most of the questions we have covered, and some of them I didn't pull up because I cannot see their name as well from the backend. So it's difficult to identify who is what. So I actually shortlisted the names for the giveaway. Can you explain how you are planning to? I mean, which type of plan you want to do the giveaway?
Yeah, so for anyone that has that already has the deal, if the person I choose already has the deal, then I will give you the ability to grant one other person an unlimited lifetime deal. If the person does not have a deal, then I will grant an unlimited lifetime deal to that person. So I kind of wanted to base this off of the best questions that I received. Because I think some people asked some really great, engaging questions. So I'm going to pick, Rabin, pick a number 1 or 2.
2.
All right. Jonathan Katz, you are our winner. I really
cool.
like your question around combining the modalities. So Jonathan, you will get the unlimited lifetime deal. If you already have one, follow up with me and we'll get whoever you want's email activated as unlimited lifetime deal.
Cool. Jonathan, let me put some sound on this. Where is he? He's clapping.
Real quick, I saw one question in the audience I wanted to make sure that I answered before it goes. Clarify the fair use policy.
I think there is 2 more questions. If you have 1 minute, I think should be should be fine to pull that. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so we laid this out a little bit in the group. Effectively, what we have in place is protection against bots ruining the infrastructure of the platform. And those manifest themselves as a limit on the per minute or per hour clicks of the platform. That's mostly to protect our own infrastructure. Now, as we make more investments, those can expand. But the way that the fair usage policy works is that those tend to fluctuate based upon the load being put on the platform. So like we had a 1,500 user uptick in one day earlier this year. And our platform held, but as you can imagine, a bunch of people creating 4K images at once doesn't really do so well for your infrastructure storage on the back end. So that's why the beginning part of this week, we built a CDN. So now your images and content will live closer to you from a server perspective, and it makes the whole platform faster, which means that the fair usage policy really isn't going to fluctuate as much as it used to, but it's meant to protect. It's not meant to like say, hey, we said subject to fair usage policy, in the future, we're just going to cut all your shit off. That's not the intent of it. I will never use it that way. You have my word. Next
so
biggest
the
feature.
last one I'm going to pick is that will be the last one we are picking. And consider adding the ability to generate academic articles.
Yeah, so this is fun because I have two published researchers on my team, and they just want Charlie to write all their papers. So that's definitely coming. I'm actively getting our product into marketing classes on university campuses so that we can get this tool to write student papers, but that's between us on the call. But yes, academic articles is very much part of the Charlie the Researcher project that we talked about.
All right, that's all for now. Thank you everyone for joining. And yes, I was a little bit distracted because I had to manage the stream, like pick up the questions and stuff. Sorry about that.
You did a great job, Rabin.
So yeah, I forgot to there's too many things.
Woof woof, I love it.
Yeah,
I love this
saying
community.
that. Oh, David.
I was even thinking
okay.
woof woof, and I was like, I kind of like this. I've started woofing in our team chats, so you guys know.
You know, the woof is from The Office. You watch The Office?
Yeah,
Yes,
I watched
yes.
When the guy is saying, "Do you want a woof?" I think.
Yeah.
It faxes you, it emails you, it sends you a text. You're woofing.
I told someone we're going to
I
name our
knew
next
this question
image
will come
model
up.
Woofy.
Yeah,
Woofy.
I knew this question will come up.
Henry. You know what? I gotta give it to Henry.
Yeah.
I was busting Henry's chops. You know, I'm like, oh my God, Henry, you're hyping. You know, he was. You got to give it to Henry. He was one of the first I saw that was in the forefront of the GoCharlie campaign. And I right away was pushing back and saying, Henry, calm down. What are you talking about here? Are you even trying this tool? What is it about? You know? And the more I looked at it,
he pushed it.
He did. Yeah. He did. That's, you know, good for him, you know, and Brennan, he helped you a lot, get you out there so we could all meet you, you know?
Yeah, Henry's the man. He's done a lot for us, and I want to make sure that we take care of him because he was one of the first to take a shot on us, and we're definitely going to repay that. And
well, you didn't call me first. I mean, come on. You
Can
know,
someone explain to me what is this guy is telling?
49er fans. I mean, I thought we would, you know.
sell your mom, sell your kid. No, please don't sell your mother. I'd love for her to use the platform. Don't sell her to buy more stuff. That's what I meant. My mom would not be happy about that. Awesome.
Of course, thank you, Shizer. I haven't been seeing you for a while. Yeah, I think he was busy. I haven't seen him for a little bit of time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We are past 1 hour and almost 10 minutes. Thank you, Brennan, for taking the time to explain a lot of things.
We can't go for 2 hours. We can't go for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Sure. It depends on.
I can do this all day.
What's the after party? We gotta have an after party stream.
We have to break out the bourbon if we're going that.
Yeah.
Charlie.
Hey, I'll jump on if we go to the GoCharlie Facebook page. I don't care. Whatever you gotta do.
Oh, there's the after party over there.
The after party we'll have over there. We'll just talk about football and bacon.
There we go.
You guys
have been awesome. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for all the feedback. That helps us get better. It helps me resonate with the team. My job is to be the voice of you guys in the product discussion. So you've been awesome. Keep it coming. I promise we're going to continue to deliver. But if we're ever not playing up to that standard, you let me know, and I will go make sure that happens.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brennan. You're awesome.
Yeah, guys. All right.
Had a lot of
Thanks,
Thanks everybody.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
All right. So Brennan went off. So everyone have a good weekend. We're going off. Joe, I'll see you later.
I'm gonna come back on in 5 minutes.
Party. Yeah,
after party. After party. If people want after party, we'll come back on and we'll talk more. All right. See you.
All right.
Thanks, Rabin.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good one.